This is not a moment, this is a movement, and we are here today to continue the work of Martin and Coretta Scott King to say that the unfinished business of the civil rights movement has not been forgotten. If we utilize the power of money creation for purposes in the public interest, we would no longer be desperate and dependent upon the crumbs that they throw at us from their table.
Burn us down, Lord, since I laid my burn us down.
We have a government that won't do anything that's popular.
There is a persistent economic inequity that pervades how medical care is delivered in our country.
You have impoverished communities that have been stripped away.
We can make a difference, and your voice must be heard in a time to which we're living.
Let a light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
We have been told our entire lives that there is no money to attend to our deeply held and brutally neglected public priorities.
We have to hold our nation responsible for our own creeds. And this is what the March on Washington for Jobs and Equality was all about.
Our Bishops' Council formally adopted a public policy agenda that centers around a federal job guarantee, priorities around free public health care, and more federal investments in public education. This is the beginning of a much larger effort, and I think the congressman and leader can really be on the front end.
Share the concerns of the people, to represent those who have no voice.
I support every single thing that's in this policy line upon line.
Continuing to elevate ways to strengthen the Voting Rights Act.
This is bigger even than full gospel. We intend for it to be.
Not just for our local communities, but the nation abroad. So what I observed today in the meeting is the attempt to try to make amends for the things that happened from the past. There's a lot of hurts that happened to the minorities, particularly black folks, the African American in this country.
This government has to be the employer of last resort. It must employ all of its citizens, and guess what? The money stays there.
Scripture that says one plants, one waters, but God gives the increase. So we hope that with this being seeded by Martin Luther King, what he did with the civil rights movement, that this move on to a bigger and better things as we continue to water what has been planted and established. So it's I have a great hope that things will change, and that's what we're here for a greater change and a greater hope. So thank you for your time, and I appreciate everything, and I hope to see that great change one day.
What's truly powerful about the Freedom Plan that we've adopted is that it articulates the specific policy priorities that we want passed.
And she read it line by line, and so it was awesome. We were well represented. We thank you for your leadership.
It is now time for us to say to our members of Congress, no more excuses.
Dr. King's words deserve an economic bill of rights that would guarantee a job to all people who want to work and an income for all who are not able to work. And if our society really wanted to solve the problem, we could. It's just that it would require everybody's say, this is important. This is significant.
Our Congress passes laws which subsidize corporation farms, oil companies, airlines, and houses for suburbia. But when they turn their attention to the poor, they suddenly become concerned about balancing the budget.
And so we are going to change the face of this country by putting feet to our prayers. This Caravan for Justice seeks to complete the understanding of justice, because there's two sides of justice. On the one side, there's direct action, and on the other side, there's advocacy. And as a people, we know a lot about the direct action side, the marches and the protests, but we have got to get involved on the advocacy side if we are going to make this country and this world a better place for all of God's children. Dr. King said that the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. But I want to say that it does not bend towards justice by itself. We have got to put our heads, our hands, and our hearts together to make sure that we fight for equality and justice. And like Bishop Morton said to us and implied to us last night, that too often people of faith put their values, their spiritual values aside in order to support a person or a personality. And we've got to decide today that enough is enough. Enough is enough. Say that with me. Enough is enough. We want voting rights for everyone. We want economic rights